Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Encrypted Connections. I am your host, Kyle. Happy Sunday, everybody. As you know, we have two of our good friends coming on the show. I'm going to bring them in a couple minutes. I'm not sure that they're really good at telling time. I think it's the whole 6-hour difference. It's really got them confused. There was a whole lot of messaging going on back and forth. They didn't understand that it was 7 o'clock here. And, it was later there. And it's just a big thing. Not the brightest, but we take them as they are, such as you do with friends. Anyway, welcome. How are you guys? Rob, Mary, Linda, Hope, Janelle, Carson, Tyler, Salty. What's up, buddy? I saw a couple comments in here that had me laughing right away. Hold on. I got to go back and look. This was probably one of my favorites right here. Yep. I guess apparently they have alternate names. They have middle names. Ben's dog's middle name is Sit. Ours is No. If you watch often, you hear that constantly. So that made me laugh. No, I'm not oiling my bears. I don't have any bears to oil. If I did, I probably wouldn't oil them. Looks, it seems a little sketchy. They might like it, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's not drag this along. Let's get these guys on here because who knows what's going to happen. I can already see that there's some fishy stuff going on here. We'll get that terrible pun in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben from the YouTube channel Unexplained and our very good friend That's Fresh. Yo, welcome.
How we doing? How's
it going? What? Oh God!
What's the matter with you two again?
It's something fishy's going on over there.
Oh right. Yeah, these are my so I wear these occasionally if I'm doing a job. So I can't stay. So I wear a wig because I always have to stay bold. So these are my fishnet stockings from last night's job.
I thought so. I knew it. The whole now everything really fits together well. The whole order of the garter belts, the fishnet stockings. I mean, it all really fits well.
Of course, it's all the attire of the man or the man.
We can see quite a lot of him through that net, though.
Sorry?
We can see quite a lot of you through the net, Fresh.
You can't see anything at the minute if I do that.
All I see is a chin and a mouth.
Yeah, I can only see the chin of the moment.
But watch this. Watch this.
Oh boy, look at.
Oh, we got a bit more.
Or we can go like
that. Special effects on Encrypted Connections.
Tell you what, it makes me wonder, how do fish feel when they're in that net?
Well, they feel like this.
Must be, yeah, that must be a maddening place to be. That's for sure. Yes, no, not tea. I'm not sure. Not tea though. Definitely not.
What do you mean?
So someone, Hope said you heard a microwave of someone warming up tea. She's got this thing for tea tonight, I guess. I keep seeing her talking about tea and honey, and so I don't know. But no, I don't think it's tea. Is it tea? No, not tea. Didn't think so. We're not tea drinkers here.
I've just had a coffee, but I've just come in from work.
Fresh, so. You're not the only one that wears the fish nets. Apparently, Brown Dwarf does too. So.
Really?
Okay. Well, he does, but he doesn't wear them on his legs though. He wears like fishnet tank tops.
Well, can I just say? I bet he hasn't got matching gloves.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't have matching gloves. No, I don't think many people do, because aside from 1980s prostitutes.
This was all meant to be very serious, and it's gone in the gutter already.
I knew this was going to happen. That's why I had you both on. I was planning on hijacking the Bigfoot world tonight. It's working well.
To be honest with you, I mean, I could just put a pair of glasses on or something and get rid of the fish nets. That might be better.
That's better. Yeah, just put the glasses on. God's sake. There we go.
Up tea in the microwave.
Ridiculous. Can we show Ben's got a map behind him. He often gets lost. Fresh has this really amazing painting behind him that he showed me earlier.
Yes.
Well, if you want to see it,
up down to show you the map.
We'll show you. Let's show you it. So this was done by my niece, and it's of my favourite animal, of course, which is the silverback.
It's awesome,
and it's just done. Good. It's just done in watercolors. Look,
it's awesome.
Very nice.
So good.
My brother might be watching. He won't pop in the chat. Well, here's a little thing. If you're watching, brother, I bet your dad didn't pop in the chat. I bet you've raced through the door. You're trying to trip over the dog. You're trying to get everything sorted out. You're ripping the laptop out. Let's see if you can get on here. And
can we say your brother's name, Fresh?
Well, it will be, if he pops up on the side, it'll be Eco Hippie.
It will be what?
Eco Hippie.
Eco Hippie.
Eco Hippie.
Eco Hippie, yeah. It's got.
Can we say his real name so we can give him a shout out or not?
It's the same name. It's the same name as you, Ben.
Okay.
Peter.
Ben, if you're watching. Massive hello, Ben, if you're watching.
Ben, his name's Peter. I just said that.
Sorry, Peter, if you're watching, hello, buddy.
I told you earlier, your new name is Peter. Your new name is Peter.
Yeah, I know, but I've probably had 4 names in the last week, Fresh. So
no, that's your own doing.
I highly recommend, if I know most people don't do this, but I really highly recommend, if you did not read tonight's description,
oh, come on,
you need to take the extra moment or two to go read that description.
Yeah.
It really is a bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
Culture.
Centrifugal flux capacitor. I don't know.
Yep, it's that. That's what it is. Absolutely. Yep, that's 100%. It's a centrifugal flux capacitor. Yep. No, it's a nice bit of background on both of these men that you may or may not know, and it's good to know the people that you're watching. We all come on this YouTube thing and. People put on all kinds of fronts and fakes and lies and all that stuff. Yes, I am a cunning linguist. You are right. I
could say something else.
Oh boy. Yeah, there are shenanigans happening here. This is going to happen all night. I hope you're ready. I told you, be prepared. I hope you're all well medicated because you're going to need
round one.
Take your Xanax. Take your antidepressants, take your anti-delusion medicine, take whatever it is you take to get through the shit show, because tonight the volume's turned up to 12. But anyway, let's talk. Let's chat.
Hey up, Bernie's in. Look.
Hello, Bernie.
Bernie, what's up, Bernie?
You're right, Janelle. Hello, darling. Who else is here? Bernie, Red Brown Dwarf, Salty.
Yeah, Salty's in. Yeah, we should just say hello to everybody, shouldn't we?
I'll do it, Ben. Thank you. I've already started. Why do you have to do it?
Don't tell him what to do.
No, but he's doing it again. He always interrupting. He has to be centre fucking attention.
It's the Ben show. It's the Ben show.
I tell you what, Ben.
Go on.
Just carry on. I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Ben, you need a light, buddy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Kyle and Fresh, my good friends. One's from across the pond. Right. What should we talk about then?
I don't know.
No. That was shit.
Do you want me to keep going?
Oh, I'll give up with it. Fucking hell, I told you before we got on. Oh.
Oh God! If you guys,
I spend hours training you fuckwit, and then you just do this.
This video is absolutely demonetized 100% right out of the gate. I
just
believe
say
there's a
that-
rule. I believe there's a rule that YouTube has that if you use the F word within the first 5 minutes, you're disqualified from making good money
Yeah,
on it.
Fresh, you heading for the sin bin, mate.
No, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
But when I only make 7 cents a video sometimes, so it's not really that it matters.
Well, to be honest with you, it looks like we've got a ghost there in front of a world map. We can't even see you. What's going on?
Can you turn your volume up a little bit, Fresh?
What, tonight?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Just on your, see if you can turn your volume up just a little bit. Your voice is, am I right, Kyle, or not?
Little echo. Oh, I'm getting an echo from me too.
No, let's get this sorted out because
Is that better with the light?
do we need to get
Oh,
serious? That's better.
The eyes.
That's
Last
better.
night was heavy.
I see you're sponsored by Samsonite still.
Samsonite?
Yeah, with your bags under your eyes, Samsonite.
Yeah, that's what I just mentioned. I know. Sorry. Heavy night last night.
You ruin all my punchlines. I knew you were going to do this tonight.
What?
Why am I getting an echo from you, Fresh?
I don't know.
Is it from
Only
Fresh?
now I don't hear it. Say something. Say, Kyle, you're beautiful.
Monkfish, you're skippy.
That's better. I don't know. It comes and goes. Who knows?
I have no idea. Let's enjoy the ride, baby.
Yeah, this is my life. I don't know what I'm doing. Do any of you guys ever thought that I knew what I was doing on here? This is literally all just like fly by the seat of my pants, hope it goes well. And if you've been here for a while,
we were going off the hip, right?
We what?
We said we were going off the hip tonight.
We're going off the hip. The first thing, Hope says she wants to know why this doesn't happen every week. I think it's a great question.
To be honest with you, it's all about timing.
Here we go. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Not what I was expecting. I thought there was going to be. He was going to wax poetic. He was going to wax poetic about where time comes from.
Yeah, I thought we were going to hear a lot more.
No. It's just about timing. It's all about timing.
It is. It's tough. You have to remember they're 6 hours, right? You're 6 hours ahead of me.
32.
How many?
32.
32.
In my dimension, yeah.
And yeah. Time doesn't exist in your dimension. No. I thought. No.
To be honest with you, time's just a fraction of a construct, so it's irrelevant to any pattern of any zodiacness.
Here we go. Okay, so let me explain something to you guys. One of the things that happens to me and both me and Ben after we talk to Fresh is we get into a conversation about one thing. The conversation generally diverts to something else, and when it does, both of us leave that phone call, that chat, going like this.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And then for 2 weeks, you're left digging to find answers. You're looking to the heavens, asking, whatever God there might be, like, please help me, please, somebody help me.
I mean, I called him earlier to see if he was okay. It's like a sort of, you okay, mate? I'm not going to say any more about that.
Yeah, but listen, that will stop you from calling again.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
You would think. You would think that's what would happen, but it's not what happens.
It's not, because you just want more and more. More. That's how I like it.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
Can I just say hello to Kyle's mum? She's in the chat. Mimi, how you doing?
I can't see anything. I'm blind.
Yeah, she's in there. Mimi Sue's in there.
I can't even see the bottom.
Hello, Kyle's mum.
Hi, Kyle's mum. How you doing?
Hi, Mom.
Good to see you. I don't know.
Nice to see you're not one of the hiders tonight.
There's a few stalkers, is there?
Yeah. Can we talk about those hiders?
No, we don't talk about stalkers, but what we've got, if you actually look,
I actually call them hiders, Fresh.
The watchers. We'll call them the watchers.
The watchers.
Okay.
The creepers.
But what? Yeah, the creepers. They're basically grifters, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
You've got a percentage of absolutely everything because it's just a logical sense that, like I was saying earlier, that certain amounts of subscribers are going to be, interested in one thing that you're doing. Another set is going to be interested in the logical side and the in-depth research side about what you're doing. Another side might be homebound and might enjoy watching somebody going out into the woods all the time. But it's dependent, isn't it? What's that say there? Flick the like button lightly. No, smash it.
No, it says lick the light
lick it.
lightly.
I can't see shit in these, I'll be honest.
You missed Bernie's comment. Bernie said, I've just calculated. Hold on. I just calculated it. Kyle needs to average 3,914 videos per day to make a nice living at his current ROI. That doesn't sound like too much.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what.
It's a lot of YouTube time.
I'll tell you what, if you did that amount, you'd beat Mike from Long Island, wouldn't you?
What's that? He's putting them out. That's for sure.
He's putting them out.
He's putting them out at a rate that I could never keep up with. I just couldn't do it.
Man's crushing it. Man's got no time.
I couldn't do it. There's no way, possible way I could ever keep up. It just won't happen.
There's no time in that man's world. There's just time's nothing. It's an epiphany of nothing. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think that it's probably similar to what how you live. Time doesn't exist.
Hello, Mike is in the house.
In your world.
Who's in the house?
Mike.
All right, Mike. How you doing, Mikey?
But let's Shade Viking. Yeah, I found a good show to listen to. I love these shows. They're perfect to listen to as you work on stuff. Perfect to listen to as you work on stuff. Perfect to listen to if you have absolutely nothing better to do with your Sunday night whatsoever. What
you're talking about? Cryptic connections as a whole. If you've got nothing better to do, just to watch that, or just
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Have we got the standard 21 viewers in tonight?
We've got 28. We're 7 up.
28, mate.
Oh, that's 28, mate. 28.
We're 7 up. Jason Statham works on his own time. He called you Jason Statham.
It's not the first time. He's obviously not seen the bust up nose. Well, maybe he has.
That's amazing.
You can't miss it, can you, really?
Jason Statham works. I say this, and it doesn't ever fail. Every single time Salty's in the chat, I end up laughing my ass off.
He's a geezer.
Every single time.
Salty's a geezer.
I can usually say the same about Bernie, too. Although Bernie's been absent a little bit more often lately, but I've also probably been absent too, so I can't really blame him.
I've seen Bernie on other chats and other channels, so he's just being a traitor, basically.
He's cheating.
Yeah, he's just a traitor, really.
He's cheating.
He only sneaks in just to get a bit of knowledge, then he buggers off and tells everybody else. I've got him. Don't you worry, I've got him. I know what he's up to.
Oh God!
I know his games. He's a good guy, man. He is.
He is. He's very smart. Very, very smart. I mean,
whoa! Don't blow too much smoke up his ass.
All right, he's relatively smart.
Yeah, to keep it casual.
Sometimes.
You all right there, Ben? Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Well, after last night, you might just drift off there.
No, I won't be drifting off.
Ben had a wonderful night last night.
I've had a little bit of extra sleep today, so yeah,
Yeah, sleep. That's what he's calling it.
Yeah, focus been watered down now, fresh.
No,
it's all good.
Ben's got to the age where he needs a nana nap.
And yeah,
he needs a nana nap, and so do you. You need a nana nap.
I do. If you guys have never heard of a nana nap, a nana nap is like one of these wonderful things that, as you get older, you tend to rely on more to get through your day. Your regular sleep patterns become so screwed up. But somehow, some way, the middle of the day when you really need to be doing something is when you get the best 1 hour to 2 hour sleep you've ever had in your life. Fresh calls it a Nana nap, which I think is great because who you see Nana's taking the greatest naps ever, right? Nana took the best naps.
The Spanish have been doing this their whole lives.
The Spanish.
Siesta. It's called a siesta.
Siesta. Yeah, right. In America, it's called fucking off and getting fired. That's it's called being lazy. God forbid you take a freaking break for an hour.
No, I thought you guys called it freedom.
Yeah, right. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Freedom. The other construct, a psychological operation called freedom.
Yeah. We're not going to get into that stuff today. Let's talk about some stuff pertaining to this community.
Carson and Linda.
2 or 3 days since retired.
Hold on a minute, Kyle. We need to go over it again. When Kyle talks, you don't talk. Do you get it? That's it. Carry on. Sorry, Kyle.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. It's just it's fucking manners again. He's from the South.
Let's set the rules up right now. Let's get some things straight. When I talk, you shut up and listen. You only speak when spoken to. You understand me? All right.
You listen from Billy from the Bronx.
Yeah, that's right. Benny Blanco.
Oh.
So let's talk about some things.
Okay.
So I had gone. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this yesterday because I didn't go up to the property. Well, I did. I said I wasn't, but I wasn't going to do any kind of research. It was crappy outside. What I did secretly is I went up and I left the recorder. Took a drive up. Didn't have shit to do. Said I'm going to go just take the drive, leave the recorder out. Put it in, wrap it in a little bit of plastic and hide it good, and hope it survives. So I did that. I went up today and I stuck strictly to his property, which is why I couldn't go live. I just had no signal, none at all. What I can tell you is nothing really remarkable happened, like physically. I didn't hear any crazy knocks. I didn't hear any footsteps, any of that stuff. None of that happened. I still had that overwhelming feeling that there were people just staring at me from every side. I mean, like, it's such an overwhelming feeling. I can't explain it. But I did get the recorder and check the recorder. And like an idiot, I left the recorder. I didn't bring it downstairs for the show because I'm a moron. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll be able to play it tomorrow. But anyway, there was more shit on the recorder. Again, it was only left yesterday at, I don't know, what time did I leave it there? Maybe around 11:30 in the morning. And I went back today and picked it up around the same time, noon or whatever, and was scrubbing through it and, fast forwarding and listening. And I heard something picked it up. Something literally picked it up. You could hear it messing with it, like playing with it, fidgeting with it. It sounded like it tapped on it a couple times. You could hear breathing. Sounds like it drops it. And when it drops it, you hear the breathing get like almost like a huff, right? seems to pick it back up, fidget with it again, and then put it down.
Where did you place it? Whereabouts did you put it? How did you put it?
There's a rock, some rock outcroppings there, right? There's some huge rocks, like giant big rocks. And at one of these outcroppings, there is like a big rock and then 3 or 4 smaller rocks kind of pressed against it in this formation that creates this ledge, a little pocket where I could slide this thing in, where it's kind of just sticking out, maybe this much, man. I mean, just a tiny bit. And the overhang on the rock above keeps the rain going away from it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't get wet. So this tells me again, the same thing that I thought last time. When I left it last time, I put it in a tree stump. I kind of stuck it down in there, put some stuff around it, put some moss around it, a couple leaves on top. I didn't leave this thing sticking out. And something was right, went over to it and seemed like it was, didn't touch it, but it seemed like it was around it. Like it knew it was there. And it had to know it was there here because you're not going to see it. I mean, you and me would walk by this thing 10 out of 10 times. You just wouldn't see it.
Was it obscure? Did you actually make it obscure?
So, I mean, I put some foliage around it as best as I could. Foliage. Yes. Foliage. Yep. It's a fancy word for leaves. But I couldn't put it over the actual microphones on the top.
Obviously.
Just wouldn't allow me to. And those things are good chrome in color. So, if you are very well aware of this area, like maybe these beings are, it would probably stick out to you like a sore thumb. To me and you, to any one of us, we would probably walk by it 10 out of 10 times and never see it. But something saw it. Something picked it up. Something messed with it. Then you can hear it walking around. Again, bipedal footsteps. It's not like it's nothing. It's not moving fast. You can hear 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. I mean, there's like a good pause in between, which tells me a couple things. It's taking large strides.
Mm-hmm.
It's walking slowly with purpose. The sticks breaking and stuff tells me that it's got weight. I mean, it sounded louder than when on my recording, like I listened back to the live that I did there, and you can hear me walking on these sticks and breaking them. And whatever this is walking is breaking things that are much bigger every time, like almost every time it's taking a step. It's just interesting stuff, man. It's crazy. I just keep waiting for someone to jump out and go, gotcha! Ha joke. We've been playing a joke on you this whole time. Ha dummy. And because it just seems so unreal.
Yeah, so it's a telltale sign though that's a winning recipe really, which is audio. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with it. It's it's proven, isn't it? It's just proven. So you can take the camera and you can do whatever you want to do. The camera can look like other things, whatever's out there, whatever could be looking at us, could be thinking, you don't know what that person's carrying. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't know it's a camera. They may know it's a camera. You don't know what's a camera. But I would say it would pick up off the energy. So it's the same as in a lot of cases, if you watch, you see trail cam footage.
Yeah.
And you always see the deer stop and stare at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why does it stop and stare at the camera? It doesn't come and smell it. It's off at the distance, but it stands there, looks directly at the camera and knows it's there. Has anybody else noticed that?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Look,
okay.
You look at most trail cam footage, you can see him staring at it.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. And you think, well, I wonder if the same happens with the audio. I wonder if it gives something off.
Yeah. I don't know because it'd be EMF. It's electromagnetic frequency, basically, because it's a technical device. Right. So that's what it'd give off. Yeah. So that in its own essence would create, because it's an energy, it would create a certain vibration. Okay? Yeah, but so here's the thing though. So we're talking about deer will stare at it. Other animals will stare at it, whatever. Like they know it's there. They could see it, whatever. But when we're talking about Sasquatch, it's the opposite. They tend to not go near the camera. They stay the hell away. They do everything they can to avoid it. Most of the images people capture from trail cameras or any cameras in the woods, for that matter, or in your yard, are a very fleeting capture of a shadow, what looks to be a hand, maybe kind of like this in front of the camera, some hairy fingertips, or maybe just some hair, right? And people end up kind of theorizing in that moment that it was a Sasquatch when, unfortunately, there's just not enough proof. But with the recorders, they seem to go to them. It's the opposite. They fiddle with them. You've had, how many times have you heard people's audio where one of these things, at least theoretically, it sounds like one of these beings picks it up, sometimes even chatters to it, talks, makes noise, grunts, whoops, whistles, fiddles with it, and then inevitably either puts it back or drops it off somewhere else.
Yeah, it's it's a strange one because I've had it happen to myself, as you've heard, but there is something obviously that you've got a deer will look at the camera. Well, the whole thing I'm trying to say here, it's the levels of intelligence, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We know what we're dealing is what we're dealing with is a very intelligent being or a very intelligent energy. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not going to appear in front of a camera, but we've not got. Have we got these things going down the high streets and online checking out the latest tech? So they know about it. No, we've not. So there has to be something. There has to be something, doesn't there? Yeah. So selectively where you put the audio or selectively where you put a camera would definitely give you different results. That's why I'm saying, was it obscured? Was it certain places? Because by saying all of this as well, it discounts other animals, doesn't it? Come into the camera,
right?
Or come into the audio,
right?
So that's what we're trying to do all the time, because we're always trying to narrow. Yeah. What we're dealing with, we're trying to narrow things down, discredit things, discount things, put things to one side. It could be that, it couldn't be that, but we never ever see what any of this is. So all we have is the bloody audio, yeah? And it's the most frustrating thing in the world, especially when you can have something right at the side of you and you can hear it in the undergrowth, you can hear it snapping the trees, the branches and everything else like that, and then it growls at you, yeah?
Yep.
But it's only recorded on the audio.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so frustrating.
I was listening to something that's very, very, very important, I think. Somebody that's really, really studied audio and a massive thing. So I was talking about Steve James, a guy called Steve James. So he took the audio thing on, made it his background and everything else like that. And what he was saying is that our recorders, what we're using, say like a Tascam, what we're using, Tascam DR5. That's what you use, isn't it?
That's what I use, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a Tascam DR5 going, but it's on a certain WAV file format.
Yeah.
That's only recording certain frequency. But he's detailing a different way of recording on audio, which is called land loss. So it's a land loss recording device. So I've never heard of this thing. I don't know how it's spelt. I don't know if anybody's listening now that can say, "Oh yeah, it's spelt like this." But I'll give it some time things like that need to be investigated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has to be on a different frequency what they're doing for it to be picked up. Because I'm not hearing it in the flesh.
You're saying when you hear with something around you that like, something bipedal moving around you, it doesn't sound to you like it's in the flesh when you're hearing it?
No. When I've recorded what I've recorded before, and you've both seen now, so you're up to speed. You've both seen the footage of where I go at the end of frustrating. Isn't it frustrating? In that 16 to 20 second slot, yeah, you hear that growl. You hear the growl, don't you?
Mm.
I didn't hear that in the flesh.
Didn't hear it, no.
I didn't. That's right, Ben. I didn't hear it in the physical. I only heard it on the recorder.
Mm.
And that wasn't because I was distracted, because if you listen to the actual recording, the actual footage, you'll hear it goes very quiet once I say frustrating.
Yeah, you would have heard it clearly, wouldn't you?
And you would have heard, exactly, you would have heard it clearly. It's like the other time, which I have, where I decided to go into site 3 and put down a recording device where I believe there is more activity in that area. So obviously I'm going to put it into a place where there's more activity, or I consider there's more activity.
Does your device record all the time, or does it pick up on and then start to record?
No, it records all the time.
Okay.
You can set it up to do these kind of things, obviously, yeah. But I just set it up to record all the time. So this time I thought, right, this is the time where I'm going through doing all the tricks. So I'm tricking these things, okay? So I put the recorder down and decided to go and walk from site 2 into site 3 into site 2 and back around to site 3. So I was probably gone like an hour and a half. But that recording from that, what you actually hear is you hear a crackling. So you actually hear energy. Do you know how microphones pick up? Do you know when you've got your mobile phone ringing and you're trying to record something, you've got that frequency pickup, yeah, the EMF sound?
You hear that, yeah, it's static.
So you get all that static discharge. How is it in all that period of recording, there's no static discharge at all, and then all of a sudden there's static discharge, and then what you've got is this.
Yeah. I don't know.
And what else is in there doing that? Who else has walked in behind me to do that? What is going on?
To me, there's only, and this is just me, it's only one or two answers that make sense. Number one, it's something paranormal, right? Some kind of spirit or something like that, or it's a Sasquatch or a being like that. But this is why, like, what I talk to Joe from Hellbent a lot, and we talk about this kind of cross pollination of these different things, right? Where you have similar activities that seem like they may be related to Sasquatch, or that people are trying to put the Sasquatch brand onto this activity, when really it may not have anything to do with Sasquatch. It may be something completely different that's also in these same areas. Because if you're talking about paranormal, the other, let's say, right, makes sense that that stuff would want to exist in these dark, desolate, hidden places just as much as a humanoid bipedal relative of ours, relict hominid, or whatever you want to call it. They both kind of share that same the same desire to remain mostly hidden until they need to show themselves, or do whatever it is they do. But
it's a very, very hard concept to even take on board and contemplate that something can be physical and then just vanish.
Yeah.
Like literally Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, when the teleportation things and it all and then comes and forms back into a solid state. Yeah. It's very, very hard to get your head around that. Is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Is everybody in the chat talking about recipes and blueberry pie and stuff like that, or
no?
Is everybody in the chat actually listening?
It seems that way.
Let's start with a question then, shall we?
Shoot.
Okay. So if people in the chat are listening, who in the chat believes in spirits?
It's a good question.
Right. So what I want to do here is let's go 1 for yes, I do believe in spirits. 2, I don't believe in spirits. So if you believe in spirits, that's a thing. Ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call it. But in the paranormal, it's 1 for yes, 2 for no. And let's just see what we get. Because this is going to go, I'm going to blow the fucking lid off this right now.
Oh boy, here we go. Hope you guys got 2 weeks.
You know, you're going to need a big sabbatical here because this
You
is
may
going
need longer.
Maybe longer, you might. Okay, so we got overwhelmingly 1, all 1s so far.
Okay. So if we believe in spirits, we believe that there's a different dimension, a different world, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can definitely say there's something going on. Correct?
Right.
Okay. But we've never ever got to the bottom of paranormal, have we?
No.
And nobody's even got to the bottom of working out what ghosts are or spirits, correct?
No, we don't have answers to any of this stuff.
So this is going to be great. I'm going to tell you something that's happened recently because this is really, really relevant. And it's relevant to this big whole subject because who said we're dealing with Bigfoot?
Well, I think a lot of people, though, who are part of this community, this is what happens, okay? From my perspective, this is such a wonderful topic. It's such an amazing possibility that there's something out there that is so like us, yet just different enough that it seems impossible that it can exist. The fact that we may have a relative, right? Genetically, we have a relative out there that has remained hidden for all of this time, that lives in the wilderness, that behaves unlike anything that we've ever seen, has intelligence that's on just so far exceeds any other natural animal. It's so intriguing to people that I think what happens is there becomes this relationship that forms that people end up having feelings for it, right? I know it sounds weird, but bear with me for a second. People end up, they end up projecting, right? They want it to be true so badly that
Emotionally attached.
they become emotionally attached to it. They let their feelings get involved, and when you allow your feelings to get involved with something like this, your vision gets blurred. It gets skewed. You're no longer thinking objectively. So where there might be something that somebody else would go, that seems very strange. That seems kind of paranormal. Like an EVP would normally, by most people, be considered paranormal, right? But people who are so attached to this subject would go 100% Sasquatch. I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'm saying we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. And when you attach your feelings, we're not doing this any justice. It has to be thought about as objectively as possible.
The power, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The power of suggestion is belief.
Right.
Okay, so if we plant a seed and say start in the 1700s through literature, which was the only way you could plant seeds into social engineering, it was only literature in the early days. And then from literature, they went into books. But it started off in literature. What literature started everything off? The Bible. We're going to put that to one side because that's its own different entropy altogether. But let's just say we manufacture all these different stories. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
And all in literature, we put all of these stories, etc., about all these different people, but it's only one place in the world at the time. It was America, 1700s, 1800s. Then all of a sudden it started to pop up in different places. But there was all these other different experiences going on at probably the same time. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So once we've got to the stage where we're now making films and Hollywood's got behind the social engineering construct of pushing it into everybody's mind that this thing that's out there looks like this, then automatically everybody's going to go to the auto recognition system that's already been pre-planted into their mind to exactly what this thing is, when it could be one thing or another of many, many different things. How about then that it's one massive cover-up to something that's absolutely huge, what's going on, which is all to do with your life as a spirit and an energy, moving forwards and going on to the next realm or expanding what you're doing here. So it could all just be, this is this, we'll show them what this is. The reason why you're going to have identification from this, from these people or establishments or agencies, how about it's because they know damn well it's not anything to do with that. They know damn well that they're using it through indoctrination, through repetitive programming. Bigfoot's become a very, 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 very big business. Massive business, yeah?
Yeah.
And everybody has this and that, all to do with Bigfoot and this, that, and the other. We're missing something. It's a big foot. It's a big foot that's human shaped. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
They used to be called wild man. How do you know it's not a human that was already on this land or something of this land? And then all these clucks and clowns, the architects and the mechanics all come swinging in, dropping slaves off here, left, right, and centre, completely attacking everything, overpopulating everything, chucking everything right in there. Or have you been manufactured from this? You know, it's so massive. Nobody's even thinking about deep enough even to take this or develop it even any further. Everybody talks about the same thing all the time. The same thing all the time. It's the same thing all the time.
Well,
You know,
because
when it really needs to be broken down and talked through properly, logically, critically, you know, we all know the system, how the model works. They want you to know something. They're going to blast you with it by repetition. You're programmed by repetition. If all the programming has already been there to say, oh, no, it's Bigfoot. Here's now Bigfoot in the Hendersons. Here's Bigfoot fucking Crisps. Here's Bigfoot this. Here's Bigfoot that. Here's Bigfoot that. You automatically got that. You've got that image in your head. It's already there. It's already been projected there. So when you see something, your auto cue recognition in familiarity is to go, that's what it is. That's what it is. When it could not be that. But
right.
your mind, because it hasn't seen that before, is going to go auto cue, auto cue, auto cue. That's probably what it is.
Right.
But it could be something completely different. It could be a very, very highly intelligent, supernatural human being that's been here for a long, long period of time. We're from somewhere else. We don't fit in here. We don't fit in.
I mean, the thing is that's the whole thing, is it could be anything. I mean,
it could be anything.
Could be anything.
With the experience I've had, I cannot say to you, like I've been saying to Ben, I cannot say to you, this is Bigfoot, this is Dogman, this is this. I tell you what it is. 100% I'll tell you what it is. And that is energy. Yeah. And that leads me back to the conversation that I wanted to start a little while ago before we went, wallop, off we go there. Yeah. So when I was saying about spirits and people believing in maybe ghosts or these kind of things. It'd be very interesting to see then in the chat who believes in afterlife. So let's ask another question. Everybody in the chat, do you die or does your energy go on? Yes for die, dead, done and dusted, no more, that's it, you're done. Dead, number one. Number two, your energy goes on.
I have to address Bernie's comment real quick.
Okay, what's it say?
It says, to Fresh's point, look at the explosion of Dogman. Dogman was never even on the radar until recent years. Now they're around every rural corner. 100%.
Thank you, Bernie. What we're dealing with, Bernie, we've got so many, I'm going to just get it out there. We've got so many agent provocateurs in this right now. And I've been deciphering and watching all these people for the last 2 years. I've been watching how they work, who they're manipulating, whose channels they're jumping on, how they've been buying subscribers, because the subscription base does not add up to the figures of the videos and views. So Kyle's videos and views work out of an average. It's a percentage that would be realistic to the amount of subscribers he has. Everybody else's is ridiculous. So therefore, they are agent provocateurs. There is so many in this game. And if you want me to, and you're watching me now, I'll expose you if you want. I'll tell you all of your names if you want. Would you like me to do that? Because I can do that if you want me to do that. Because this bullshit stops right now. It stops
There's a lot.
Now.
There's a lot.
There's too much. There's too many imaginaries and crazies on board. There's too many people getting paid. There's too many people getting paid. Yeah.
Once it becomes, once any of this, when somebody makes it about themselves, when it's about, look at me, I have the answers, I know what's going on, I can tell you the facts on it all. That right there, big red flag to me. If you have the answers and shit, then why the hell isn't all this, public knowledge? Why isn't this in books? If the answers are so easy, then clearly you should be able to get some video or at least some physical evidence, because I don't see dick. I see no physical evidence. None. All I hear is rhetoric. That's all I hear.
What we're going to do because you might get too angry.
I'm good. I'm just passionate.
I know, but you're tired and you might start getting aggressive and biting the air.
Ben, where's the hat, Ben? Where's the protective hat?
So, right. Okay, so let's just go. Oh, dear.
Yeah. He's safe now. He's safe.
Cool.
They can't get to him.
No, they're not getting to him. Not going to penetrate him, are they?
No.
Okay. I like the fact that you actually got it styled into a Mohican.
Yeah.
It's not just a normal tinfoil hat. It's a punk tinfoil hat.
It is.
So you made it very British, didn't you?
Yes.
Tinfoil hat's now available in the merch store.
UK all the way. UK all the way.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So most of people, I don't know what was said there. I think most people said 2.
Most people said 2.
I think they did. Now, it'd be very interesting to kind of like understand that really and say, is it 2 because they've had experience, meaning personal experience where their loved ones or somebody who's passed over has managed to communicate to that loved one, you see. So it'd be interesting to know. Looks very aerodynamic.
Mom, if you're still watching, real quick, I hope I get this right. After my mother's grandmother passed away, she came to you, did she not? Right? You saw her one night. We also lived in a house when I was a kid. My mom would tell me that was haunted. This red house. It was on Lower Bartlett Road. I was just a baby. I was like young, but she would talk about how that place was haunted. But I believe her grandmother came to her after she passed away.
Right. Okay. Maybe Mum ought to come on and tell the story, you know.
Yeah.
But there's reasons, isn't there? There's reasons, and there's all these experiences. So people, the mind doesn't know what the mind doesn't see. Number one, those that research and don't investigate things don't really follow they follow a narrative. They don't really know what's going on. All right. That's how I believe it. So if you're then saying that you don't die and your energy goes on, then that takes me to a very interesting story, which I want to share with everybody. And it's a very, very sensitive story. And if it wasn't for this young individual committing suicide, I would still be under the belief, which I had the belief before, and I was fully skeptic, that you just died. Okay? And I've learned a lot. Over the last 3 years, I have learned an incredible amount, and I've been graced by gifts. I'd say they're probably gifts. I don't know why. It's just the way that it is. So back in September last year, we lost a young man in the family called Kieran, a beautiful young man. And we won't go into his reason for his death and all the ins and outs of it, because it's very, very sad. And there's a criminal investigation actually taking place. But there was a lot of sadness, and there's quite a lot of people, you know, associated to Kieran that's been affected by Kieran's passing, but in a very, very special way. And I had no knowledge of this until my daughter called me one day. And she said, "Dad, I need to talk to you." I said, "I've been dealing with something I can no longer cope with." I said, "Can I come and see you?" I said, "With everything you've been dealing with, I know that you'll be able to help me out." So I said, "Okay, no problem at all." So Mia come around and see me, and we sat there talking about Kieran. And I said, "What is it you want to tell me?" And she said, "I need to show you something first." And I said, "Okay, show me." So she showed me 2 pictures. And one picture was a close-up of the other picture. And what it showed was an apple pushed onto the rim of a wine glass. So I said, "You're going to have to explain." She says, "I will." On Halloween last year, Mia decided to have a party with some of her friends. And there's a very lovely select bunch of friends. There's 5 couples. They get on really well together, and they spend a lot of time with each other. So they were around one of the couples' houses and decided to set up like a Halloween party thing in the garden. And they set up food and set up little nibbles and drinks and all this kind of stuff. And what they did bobbing apples. And then once I'd set all this up, they went and sat down on the cane furniture and all started to have a chat and a laugh. And in amongst that laugh and a chat, there was a stop of silence where, out of thin air, in front of them all, an apple appeared and was pushed onto Mia's wine glass. There was no effort. Mia didn't feel anything at all. It was like magic. It shocked the living shit out of all of them. They didn't know what to do. And it blew my daughter's mind. But she knew it was Kieran. And she got quite upset. Because there's no other reason for it. And I was blown away. I was literally blown away. But that was just the start. And she says, Dad, this is just the start. I said, okay. I said, so did you feel anything else? I said, anything at all? He said, no. I said, he must have picked the apple up from the bowl and he brought it up. He made it appear in front of me, us, and then pushed it onto the wine glass. I have the images. I mean, I can show everybody. I can probably get Mia to tell you this story. But Kieran was very close to his brother. And Kieran also had a girlfriend at the time. And Mia then told me about how she had actually gone and seen a clairvoyant, like a medium, to see if it actually came through. And Kieran, brother, Liam, he went to the same medium. But obviously Mia didn't say or anything else like that. So the lady had no idea at all. And what happened to Liam was Liam has a pattern. Is like a specific pattern, like we all do. You come in from work, you might put the keys on the side somewhere, do something specific, go toilet, do whatever you do, put the kettle on. These things, these random things you do. But his thing was, he came in, he'd put his keys on the side, and he would have a flat cap on. But he was a farmer, and Kieran was a bit of a farmer as well. So these farmer types, they don't like to take the flat caps off, you know what I mean? It's like part of it's like wearing a watch, you know what I mean? They feel naked without their cap on. So he'd only take his cap off when he goes for a shower, basically. So he comes out of the car, comes into the house, puts his cap on the side, puts his keys next to him as he does every day. Goes upstairs, farmer, dirty boy, gets upstairs, has a wash, comes back downstairs. His hat's gone. Where's my hat? So he starts looking around the house for his hat. He knows he's left it on the table, but it's doing his head and he can't find it. So he spends ages trying to find his hat. Anyway, he's rushing to get out then. He needs to get his car keys and go. So he goes to the car, unlocks the car, gets to sit in the car, and there's his hat placed on his car seat. When Liam goes to the medium, the lady says to him, I've got somebody here who wants to talk to you. And Kieran comes through and says, did you see what I did with your hat? I'm borrowing people's energy. I'm working out how to do all of this. Just watch me, bruv. It's going to be wicked. I'm really sorry for what I did. I didn't mean to do it. But it's too late now. But watch what I can do. All of you, watch what I can do. That changed a lot for me. And that's quite big and deep. But what I want people to take from this, you need to understand you have no idea what we're dealing with.
If there's so many things out there, right? I mean, you've seen different stories. There's been Hollywood franchises made about demonic possessions, exorcisms, where there's good, there's got to be evil. That's just the way it works, right? So there's so many different things out there that if energy to them is it's like gasoline, right, to a car. It's the way that they are able to do things and show that part of them is still there, even though the physical vessel is gone.
Right.
And then these other things that never really had a true physical vessel, that they use other people to do their bidding, these darker things. That's where it becomes really scary, that you just don't know, because so many of them you hear over and over that they present as something very, very gentle, or like you hear the story about the baby crying or the woman screaming. Any good person, if they hear that, they're going directly to it, right? And then too late now, too late, suckered you right in, and now you're in the company of something you don't want anything to do with. My mother is always so freaked out about the paranormal stuff. She's always telling me, I don't want you to have anything to do with that stuff. I have a pretty, checkered past, issues with addiction, depression, PTSD, all that stuff, which makes me an easy target. Right. So I try my best to just completely stay away. There's no way to know if you are, though, not for sure, because until it happens, right? How are you going to know? It's not like it's going to announce itself. It's not like it's going to go, hey, bruh, yo, I'm over here. By the way, I'm going to come and I'm going to really jack your world up. I'm going to jack your world. I'm going to make you sick. I'm going to make you mentally sick. I'm going to make you, suicidal, homicidal, genocidal. I'm going to destroy everything you know and love. No, it's not going to do that. It's not going to do that. But these things, you see, if you've ever watched any of these shows, there's some good ones. There's some pretty good ones about paranormal that I think are doing a good job at showing real, true evidence, right? And you see things move. I mean, I've seen multiple times where they play this game with a flashlight where they turn it off, something turns it on. They have a teddy bear that you have to squeeze to get it to talk. The thing gets, starts talking. They have a ball that rolls down the hallway in a house with no wind, no nothing. There's a lot.
I mean, I've seen some weird things and some amazing things, but this really kicked me in the truffles. I'll be honest with you, because I in my head, we were just a vessel. When we die, we die. Now, that's added a whole different dimension of problems to me, because I don't want to come back here. I have no interest in coming back here whatsoever.
To this world.
None.
Yeah, I don't either.
But this is the big thing. And this, I don't want to tangentize it because I want to try and stay on track. But we're here to learn. And this is the important thing. We're here to learn. So let's stop following waffle.
The problem is, here's where I have an issue. I'll never take anybody's anyone's experience away from them. I can't do that because I wasn't there. But what I can do is I can tell you that just because you've had an experience doesn't mean that you have enough to say that you are now an expert on the subject. Unless you are able to scientifically study something over a long period of time, different subjects in different places, different weather patterns, different, what I mean? There has to be a giant, long-standing study of anything before you can factually say, this is this. That's it.
Oh, right? This is where I am. This is about getting serious. For me, this has always been a personal journey because of what happened to me and my brother. So it's always been a personal journey. I've not really done this for anybody else. I'll be honest with you. It's been for finding out and discovering what the hell's going on. Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that. I want to learn. I want to be able to learn and give everything that I'm learning to everybody else in a certain way. Because when I leave, I want them to know that I've learned everything. I've learned as physically possible, as mentally, emotionally, as much as I physically can in this realm. I deserve a break, to put it with all the bullshit. Okay.
Well, Ben,
So,
Ben, we got to get Ben. Ben's been really quiet. Let's get Ben.
but I was going to say to Ben, Ben, what in your world, have you've because we have spoke about this, so this is why I wanted to keep it on track. That's why I just said what I did. So in Ben's world, Ben's also had a very, very sensitive thing to deal with, haven't you, Ben?
I have, and I've had an experience as you've described, with energies turning on and off, and well, you know about my brother. I think everybody knows about my brother, but my brother passed away when he was quite young. My brother was into a particular kind of music. That music used to play on 2 phones at my bedside tables in the early hours of the morning. Sometimes you would shut one off, the other one would come on with the same music. It's a very interesting, vast subject. I definitely believe that you are not over when you're put in the ground. No one is. No one is. No. I'm a firm believer. I've had too many experiences with things going on like that to absolutely know that that's not the case. Energy is to do with energy, and I just believe that once you're done with this particular thing that we're looking at here, your body's worn out and you're gone, things go on. Things progress. I don't know whether maybe you step up to the next level, possibly, when this bit's done.
Maybe also as well that if you expand your knowledge basis and allow yourself to expand that and not stay on one-dimensional frequency where everybody else is, maybe you're going to be allowed to see selectively certain things. Does that make any sense?
Totally fresh, yeah.
Yeah, because you've, I think, like kind of what you're saying is
you put the input in.
There's this theory, right, that we all have a job here, right? We have things that we have to accomplish here in this vessel, according to religion and whatever. But this is obviously a common thing people know that people talk about. So maybe if we do the work that we're supposed to do and we try our best, then you're given this privilege when you pass over. When you leave the vessel and your energy is passed over to the other side, maybe that energy is then given this gift to go, okay, now we don't need you back there anymore. You've done the work there. We need you here to help us guide other people there, other energies there, where to put this energy that's returning now,
So, Eric, I see this. Experiments are tests, because you're doing experiments as a test to get the end results, correct? That's what we live in. We live in a big experiment. I'm not going to go too deep into that because I could be here for 10 hours about that subject alone. Okay, so I just want to try and keep it like a little bit on check, yeah? And talk about energy, etc. So if we're then for energy, and then we can go back to the archetypes and then get reincarnated, say, into something else, which would lead me into another story where I had a very, very life-changing experience with a medium many years ago who told me I was born again and who I was and why I am the person that I am, and it might all stack up.
Same here.
But we're ongoing because Kieran's proved that. Now, what amount of energy would a small amount of energy mean that something's small? A great amount of energy mean that something's massive, depending on what energy that you can take in or absorb or where you are. The other thing is that within this energy realm, we have frequency and resonation. So we resonate on a specific frequency as a human being. Other things around us, if we say that we're dimensions, we're in dimensional, so we're in 3D. We know we're in 3D because we see in 3D. We know there's a fourth dimension. Now, if we was able to increase or decrease our resonance in frequency as a human being, would we then be able to see and view different things within our field that we can't usually see? Would we then be able to do different things with ourselves to make ourselves appear and reappear? Would we be able to do all these different things? And this is really where I'm at with everything, is that we're not, the subject is nowhere near to where it needs to be, because it's just covered up by so much narrative.
I don't know, man. It's hard to you can go into any of this shit and continue just talking in circles, because there just isn't enough, right? There's no scientific anything to back any of it up. It literally all just comes down to conjecture and, what you think is happening and what you believe. And, experiences are a extremely powerful thing, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't give us enough to emphatically say, yeah, this is the way it is, and this is this, and this, and there's been no scientific. I've looked this up. I don't know what anyone else has heard, but there's no scientific data to prove that we could ever potentially change our vibrational frequency enough to become invisible or to shift dimensions. Not us. They've done studies with other things, other bits of energy and particles and stuff, but not us. That's almost impossible to do. I mean, you would literally have to put somebody at the risk of being killed, right? Many people over and over at the risk of being killed to try to prove that one way or another.
So in that aspect, then, does anybody here believe that teleportation is real? So let's just have a little debate on that. Teleportation. Does the realm of the thought, the concept, teleportation, is that actually a thing? Has somebody developed teleportation? Is it actually a thing? Does anybody believe in teleportation? Does anybody believe that a solid state mass can then just go vroom, vroom? Because that'd be interesting. So it'd be a yes for one, 2 for no.
Yeah, you're saying a solid state mass can literally disappear and appear somewhere else.
Yeah, physically. Yeah, because we're talking about a teleportation device or something of that aspect. Don't forget, this is all relative. We've been talking about portals, talking about this. Let's get it out there. So that's teleportation in the realm of what we've been told is teleportation. So do we believe in teleportation?
So here's the thing, right? So the thing about, like, when they talk about UFOs coming to this planet and that kind of stuff, they teleport here, they do this, they do that, whatever. You you have to figure in some things, right? You have to figure in the sound, the speed of light, the speed of sound, all these things that are, these are scientific things. They don't change. Is it
scientific, which is theory? Science is only theory based. It's
okay?
Only theory based. Science is theory. That's all it is. And we're going off information of what we've been told, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's how you get information.
Yeah, but you've got to kind of like break it down logically, debate things, openly debate stuff, and not probably go down the same kind of narrative all of the time.
I think that it's possible to take something and send it through maybe one of these these wormholes things. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're doing it with certain things, but again, that's more bending. It's like they say how you fold a sheet of paper, right? And the starting and ending point becomes a shorter distance between the two. Bending space-time.
What you have to do, you have to speed time up to be able to use this method. So what I wanted to show you, and the reason why I'm going down this path, is because I'm going to show you something. And it's a topic of conversation, and it's something that nobody even knows anything about. And that's why I want to bring it to the forefront, and that's why I'm trying to get to the point and stay on that track. And that is, we all look at all these amazing engineers around the world and all these people and all these scientists that we'll call them that they have put forward and said, oh, this is that. Tesla did this, Tesla did that, right? Well, all the technology that Tesla had was already done many, many years before. And I can prove that to you. No problem at all. So it's only copied or borrowed or improvised or reinventing the wheel, so to speak. But when we talk about teleportation and we talk about certain craft and we want to talk about UFOs and everybody's wondering what these crafts are and everything else like that, then we have to say, okay, let's think about that, and then let's take it a little bit further. And how can I share a document, Kyle?
I don't think you can.
Is that because you don't want me to, or
no? It's because you don't have the ability to from where you are with this stream.
Okay, so I don't have access to do that. Is that right?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Oh, that's terrible. Thank you for that, Kyle.
What's the document?
I'm going to show you.
And my next question after you show it to me is going to be, why is this? Why would you put so much faith in this document over something anybody else ever told you? Why is it that this document
because it goes back to a gentleman that nobody even discusses or anybody even knows anything about. And he's one of the greatest brains and engineers of ever. And his name is John Quincy Sinclair. And John Quincy Sinclair holds the US. You go into the US Patents Office. He's got the US patent for teleportation machine. John Quincy Sinclair also has the patent for the triangular craft that Google owns. If you want to see the document, I'll show you the document.
But that's my question, though. How do you know that this document is even real? Right? So how can you prove that that's real? Because any of this shit can be faked. Any of this stuff, it's not hard to paste something on a thing and then put a stupid little silly thing in the corner that says, Department of Justice or Defense or
It's actually from their files. It's actually from their thing. Nobody here, I doubt very much anybody here has even heard of John Quincy Sinclair. If you was honest, you probably haven't.
Nope.
So why has he been covered up when he's got so many patents of mind-breaking, unbelievable technology that everybody's going, it's from China.
Maybe
because
because
it's right there in front of you. Because it's right there in front of you. Yeah.
Maybe because he's a kook.
Oh, so he's a kook then. So what we do then, everything we find, and we'll just discredit it. Everything everything we're told, we'll go, oh fuck it. That's what we'll do. So yeah, good night, guys, and I'll see you soon. Brilliant. Span, I'll speak to you tomorrow. All right. Complete waste of time. Let's not talk about anything or debate anything because it's completely pointless.
No, it's not. The point is.
Oh, sorry.
The
point is that my point's not relevant.
No, that's not
Wow.
it. The point is this is what you're going to get, right? No matter what you present.
So that's what I'm saying.
I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you.
Okay.
I don't doubt you. Chill the
No,
fuck out.
I'm not here to prove. I'm not here. Whoa, hold on a second. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm trying to help the cause out. That's what I'm trying to do. You can say suggestively all these things, nice and say, yeah, that's cool. That's no problem at all. So we might as well just go, shut the book, fuck off, ta-da. Because there has to be some logic and understanding. We have to have a path of kind of understanding. So where all of these hidden factors are, this is the point I'm just trying to make, bro, is that all these hidden factors that we have that we don't know about, why don't we know about him? Why don't we know about all these people? Why have we got Elon Musk, who's a puppet for Vanguard and BlackRock, being put into the limelight when he absolutely owns nothing? And you've got people like amazing people like John Quincy Sinclair, that's an amazing mind. Why has nobody ever heard of him?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's question things. Let's find things out.
I think we need to give much more credit to the man who invented the air fryer. That's a genius. Maybe it's a woman. I don't know. It could have been a woman, but whoever did it is a genius.
Well, that's just an element in the heated fan, and I can't believe it took so long to get there. Can you?
Well, look, see, that's what I'm saying. Look how long it took to invent the air fryer.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah,
incredible.
It's amazing. I was only doing that to make a point that
no, it's great to do that. No, it's great to do that because we can all say what we want to say. Like, I can say loads of things. I can sit here for hours and hours and hours, and I'll say the most profound things at all. People who have their own opinion and say, you're a fucking lunatic. You're a maniac. But go and do your research. Go and do the things that I've done. Because nobody here is.
The problem, though, and this is where it always ends up, is that what can we trust? There's so much access to everybody can access this thing called the internet and the computer, and they can put whatever they want out there. They can Photoshop this and they can enhance that AI. And now with all this AI shit, it's even more muddy. So the problem is that how do you know what you can trust? Because anybody can tell you anything.
The only thing I could say on that subject is over the months of period of time that we've known each other, I've been very honest with you, and I've shown you and exposed things to you that you've never seen. I've shown you documents that there is no way I'll be able to get my hands on.
Yep.
That are real documents taken from tables by staff.
Well, I don't want you saying this on the show right now.
and then I show you my government ID.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to do all the time is trying to say, look, trust me enough to just open your mind a bit. Trust me enough to go, okay, maybe this guy has done a bit more research than probably a lot of other people have. Maybe this guy has spoke to a few people that maybe other people haven't. Maybe this guy is a charming motherfucker, and maybe to manipulate his way into other people's minds. Because that's what's happened. So when we say all this whole thing, if we're not going to believe anything, or we're just going to credit Mike Brawler's story or this story or your story, well, let's close the book, fucking leave it. Because this is how we're going to get absolutely anywhere. We're never going to rely on scientists, theorists, that theorize and stuff, or making things up. We're never going to, we're not going to get anywhere listening to the government or waiting for somebody in the government to go, hey, yes, it's Bigfoot. It's not going to happen.
It may.
It's not going to happen.
They'll do it when they feel like they need to.
There's no feeling about it. It's not going to happen because the cover-up is so big. Well, this is a lot bigger than what we think it is. We've got kids popping through to deliver apples and stuff at parties and things. Are the government talking about that? No, the government aren't talking about anything like this. It's all independent people. Why is it that all YouTube accounts that start talking about the truth and start really getting over the target
Get shut down?
Why is it all these bullshitters still exist? Pushing narratives. Why is that? Because it's fake. Why do you want to shut somebody up or shut somebody down? Now I look like Andrew Tate. Why do you want to shut somebody up or shut somebody down if they're not telling the truth? It doesn't matter, does it?
Well,
point taken, point made. I don't know. I'll pour this in my eye, shall I?
Ben, how you doing, buddy? You all right?
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
I'm fine, mate. I was just thinking about the AI point, yeah?
Yeah, it's
you know what cracks
man.
me up about AI?
Yeah.
These scientists, right, they design the AI, yeah? Then they step outside the job. And when they step outside the job, they then give a warning out to say, this is a terrible thing, it needs to be governed. The scientist that developed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's that all about?
How about AI has been around for such a long time, it's actually your simulation. How about AI has been used to show all these older people in older photographs holding mobile phones? How about AI has been used for such a long period of time to show you fucking giants walking down the street on videos that shouldn't be videoed at them times?
Yeah, no, I believe, Fresh. I believe in a lot of this conspiracy.
Because you don't know what you're dealing with. God damn it, man.
Chill out, man. Relax.
The scientists seem to come to whatever conclusion the highest paying sponsor is seeking. Thank you, Salty.
Relax.
I'm cool.
The thing is, and we talk about this often, the thing is that if these answers were so readily available, right, and they're so important, there would be so much done to hide them at any cost possible, right? They would do everything they can to hide this shit because they don't want it out.
To kill people.
Right.
I've known people that are close to me that are security professionals. They've been killed in the bath because they've been at parties and seen something too much. Yeah.
That's my point. And you're on here telling people you send me documents.
I'm dead already.
See.
I don't care. Man don't care.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm fat and 43, but I don't think I'm close to a fatal heart attack yet. So, chill out, man.
Cool. There's too much medication for me to ever have a heart attack pumping through my veins. At any time. It's just I get passionate about stuff because I just want to emphasize the fact that just think we're so indoctrinated. You've been so brainwashed to think nuclear exists. This is that. This is this. This is that. It's not the case at all. Scientists are popping out with new fucking specimens all the time, are they? How about the creating them? I mean, who in the right mind is invented and designed a fly that only feeds off babies' eyes? Who?
Well, that sounds fun.
But no, that's true.
That sounds
so
fun.
What freak in a lab is doing all of this? Now, you know as well as I do, I go deep.
Hold on. I want to address something real quick because this pertains to me personally. Dana B says, yeah, like going to the doctor and the new med you need is the farm rep that just brought samples. So this is exactly how I became addicted to painkillers.
There you go.
Got hurt, went to the doctor, never had taken
What's
one
a
in
nice
my life.
best? Yeah.
Never taken one in my life. Never. Didn't touch them. Go in there, and the at the time it was when Purdue Pharma was pushing Oxycontin hardcore. I didn't know this. I had no idea. This doctor, obviously in their pocket, is like, we're going to prescribe you Oxycontin. We're going to prescribe you the most amount you can possibly have. Meanwhile, I've never taken one in my fucking life.
And because you believe the doctor,
every couple months, this kept. It was more. 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 Until
was you paying for the prescription?
So my insurance was.
Oh, brilliant! There you go. Next fiddle. Yeah.
But I mean, this continued, and this was across the country, as everybody knows by now. That became this opiate epidemic that we're still in. It killed more people than, this last war that we were in. I think it's killed more people under the age of 30 than anything else has in the last 15 years. I mean, it's insane. But yeah, it is. It all comes down to what the agenda is, really. That's what it comes down to. And unfortunately, just about everybody has their own agenda.
Well, I don't. I don't. My agenda is not an agenda. My thing is just a personal quest to try and find and learn as much as I possibly can to help other people out before I leave here. Carl, don't take any bus anytime soon, just saying. Yeah, you might fizz. You might start fizzing.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
I mean, we can crack every open thing here, but this is, like I said to you guys before, when you have somebody on that's going to be controversial, you've got to be very, very careful what you're doing. So we either have to keep it kind of PC and keep it on or go where we are. But we all know you live a lie. Every single one of you live a lie. If you want to believe his story, believe his story. It's manufactured every 100 years. It's manufactured every 100 years because the life model of the human being is manufactured and designed to last 100 years. And unfortunately, it takes so long of us to experience that much in life because we should be learning, not sitting there watching soap operas and dumbed down by stupidity. But it takes so long in life to experience so much to learn and feel all the emotions, the factors from it, all the physical effects from it, the losses and stuff like that, so we can pass on to another person if they bloody listen. It's just a shame we have to go all the way through that life because we can't put an old head on young shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
You're right, Ben?
I get it.
Yeah, I was just looking at Linda's comment.
What's it say? Ben, slap yourself so you can stay here.
Give myself a whack.
I know, Ben. I feel bad. You were so quiet this whole episode. We joked that it was going to be the Ben show, and it ended up being the Fresh. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I knew what he wanted to do, so I've just stole it. I knew
remember what we got told, Carl, before we came on? What was it?
What's that?
About you, Ben. It's all about you, Ben.
It's all about you.
No, it's all been about you, Fresh.
Listen, we can talk about things and go and expand things massively. Maybe I ought to just have my own radio show or podcast in the boot of my car or something in a lane. I don't know. But maybe we just want to talk about Ben.
Wait, what? We just
maybe just want to talk about Ben now. Maybe we'll just want to
no,
because you've brought it back to us.
I've been perfectly happy sat here. I've been
typical Englishman again. Typical Englishman.
Yeah.
Wants to change it, bring it back to him, and now wants to flip it in guilt and reverse psychology to the other Englishman. It's how us Brits work. It's incredible.
I feel no guilt.
No, we if you want to start discussing, what. Hi, my name's Ben. Where are you from? So, Ben, whereabouts in the UK do you live?
Well, I live down the south of the UK.
Thanks for providing so much information.
That's okay. I don't want to put it out there too much. My exact
No, well, the county would be all right.
the county of Sussex.
It's just so that the readers, the followers, they can they could go on Google and go, oh, Suffolk, okay? Sussex. They can get a feel of what's going on.
The county of Sussex that I live in. It's very green. It's very nice.
Do you live anywhere near Scow?
Where?
Is that what is it?
Sorry?
What's the place that David Brent lives?
Slough.
Slough?
What is it?
David Brent, isn't
Slough.
it?
Slough. That's it.
Slough.
Yeah.
Slough. Slough is in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slough. That's right.
Yeah,
Slough.
Slough. That's what it's all
No,
about.
not that close, but not that far either. Probably 50 miles.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So who do you live there with, Ben?
Oh, fuck. Oh, dear. I live here with my family, Fresh, my 2 daughters, my wife, and my dog, Reuben.
Okay, that's kind of the star of the show, isn't it, Reuben?
Reuben Sit. Reuben Sit.
Reuben is the star of the show, yeah. You're right there.
Generally comes out with more sense.
Who, Reuben or me?
Reuben.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he doesn't say a lot. Yeah, he's got
So
a sense.
why did you think about? Obviously, you started to stalk Kyle quite a while ago. I was watching you.
I wouldn't say it was actually stalking, Fresh.
No, you stalked him for quite a while.
I find
This was when the identity crisis was going on.
Ben, just let me interject, please, because you know about your meds. This is when you was in between your meds.
In between my meds? No. I've never been off the meds.
Ben, you know the side effects is to tell little fibs at times. So let's just tell the ladies and gentlemen nicely and just stick on the subject, because you know you might just go off on one. Why did you start stalking people online, Ben?
I've never actually been an online stalker. Fresh.
Why do you have such a fascination in this field in so many different channels?
I'm quite fascinated by Kyle. I find his interview techniques amazing. I've got to tell you that. And I think I had an interest in Bigfoot. Yes. And then I noticed, just flicking through a few channels, that Kyle was out in the woods. And that was how it all started, really, mate.
So that's how it started. So you didn't have anything happen at your home then, Ben?
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
No, I had an interest in this subject anyway.
That's where I was trying to get there.
I was watching Kyle's stuff as this experience at home happened.
Did you start watching stuff and then the experience happened? Was it like a thought thing in your mind and then
it was probably about a month after I watched Kyle that this happened at home. But it was definitely something. It was definitely not in my mind. It definitely happened.
So you started to have a little bit of a research, really, post.
I was researching. I was researching before I watched Kyle's show.
Oh, okay.
Probably a couple of years.
So, do you want to go into the night when you heard an owl fart at your window?
I would not say it was an owl farting, Fresh. It was definitely not an owl farting. I heard some knocking. out behind my house.
Sorry.
Has anyone here ever heard an owl fart? I'd love to know what it sounds like. Please tell me if you have. Fascination with gas. I'm sorry.
Okay. Right. Stop it now. Ben, please, it's your time. Let us know what went on with the property.
Well,
Ben, you got 2 minutes and 14 seconds, buddy.
What would
Make
you
it
like to
happen.
know? I think I've told my story about what happened at the house, but I'm going to go through it again in detail
Please do.
because it will be a night I never ever forget.
If there's any questions, anybody wants to ask any questions, just put it in capitals and we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, stick it on. I'll try and do my best to answer, or Kyle or Freshwell.
Guys,
So-
I may just leave you on here.
No, you don't.
I
No.
got to get some sleep, man.
No, can you just say something, right? You wanted us on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're here. Now
And what
you
did I
want-
say before we went on? I
No.
told you. I said I'm going to do 90 minutes.
No, you didn't. Hold on a minute. You were talking more than 90 minutes yourself. Then all of a sudden, you said, I'm not talking. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Well, you're going to leave us here to take your show?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I tell you what. I tell you what we'll do, because it's all Carl's fault. Ben,
Yeah.
please tell us your story. Let's try and get this done as quick as possible. And maybe another Sunday or whatever, we might be able to swing it back in. It could be something.
We can
quite cool.
make this a regular thing.
Yes, I know you'd like that.
I
You
would.
like that.
No, I know you
would.
would. Not, but maybe not anybody else in the channel probably would like it, or in the chat and your
Well, I
subscribers.
don't know. We've got 27 in the chat. We're holding quite firm.
There's
And what-
always,
yeah,
there's always 27 in the bloody chat.
And there was quite a few people who said that they were, they enjoyed this.
Yeah,
I mean, they may have changed their mind by
they've
now,
left. They left. It's funny, isn't it? I really enjoyed this. Thank you very much, and left. 45 minutes ago.
I did notice
What's
it
that
go
say
down.
to you?
It
That's
did go
people-
down to 20 for a while, but it's come back up again.
I'm
Look,
glad you've been watching the
Here you
stuff.
go.
See, the thing is, hold on a
Bang.
minute. The thing is, right?
Yes.
The thing is, Ben, he's been sat back, just in listening and watching and doing his meddling and watching the statistics and doing a few bits and bobs. So you've been inputting, but we've not even known about it.
Well, that's exactly taking on.
I'm gonna go use the wizard.
No, you're not.
I gotta pee.
No, because I know that move. I know that move. You'll go, I'm going. Yes, you will. You'll go, I'm going to the toilet. You won't come back.
I have nowhere else to go.
Dude, you don't come back. I'll tell you now, you don't come back. We
I have
You don't,
you listen to
you
me.
don't come back. We're going to be on a plane in the hour.
No.
nowhere else to go.
You do not come back. I'm sending you talcum powder through the post.
Talcum powder? You don't have jock itch? What are you
Oh,
sending
no,
me
it'll
talcum
cause you,
powder
it'll-
for?
listen, it will cause you a nightmare.
Oh my god.
You best get your ass back on here, big boy.
I'm gonna go pee. I'll be back.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
lord.
Okay.
Now,
look,
hold on a
do you want
minute. He doesn't even want to listen to your story.
Yeah, I know. He's going to go and pee.
Man's
He's
got
heard
bladder
it.
issues. Man's
He's
got
heard
bladder
the
issues.
story. He's had it sent to him in email format.
Well, yeah, you did that at the start like 76 times, didn't you? Just to make sure you got the message.
Yeah, make sure he got the message. Yeah.
And then you backed
So,
it up.
yeah.
Back to
I came down to the kitchen. It was 12:30. I opened the top.
Hold on a
door.
minute. Hold on a minute. At the start of it, can you go back to the start because we've skipped a bit?
Yeah, I came down to the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
At 12:30.
Where was you before then? On the roof.
No, I was in the bedroom upstairs.
So you was in bed with your partner,
Yeah, came down to
Yes.
the kitchen.
right?
Had a little sneaky vape at the back door. Heard some knocking outside at the back.
Oh,
The what?
nothing.
Anyway,
You said, "Oh, I heard some knocking," and I went, "Oh," and then you went, "I heard some knocking," and I went, "Oh," and then you
What?
went, "You what?"
You what?
And I just went, "Oh." Can you just get on with it? Jesus.
Anyway, there was some knocking at the back of my house. So it was 12:30, as I said. I'd have been tempted to actually knock back. But instead of that, I clicked my fingers. Some people might laugh. It's what happened. It's the truth. Whatever it was knocking starts knocking back to the finger clicks, which was weird. Okay.
Oh.
So my exact approach was actually I started laughing, thinking, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Went back upstairs. I got my wife eventually.
You nearly said girlfriend.
No, wife. Mistress. I never nearly said girlfriend.
Nearly,
wife.
Mate. Nearly, mate.
After we had an argument about her coming back down and listening because she was like, it's ridiculous. I'm not coming back down. What you're saying is ridiculous. I'm like, well, you've got nothing to lose. Anyway, after about 20 minutes of arguing, she comes back down to the back door and I said, okay, I can still hear the knocking. I click my fingers and it knocks back again, whatever it was. With that, my wife takes off across the kitchen, back out to the bedroom and goes and gets in one of the beds, the kids' beds, scared.
Word.
Right.
It's a bit selfish, isn't it?
Yeah, what I thought at the time.
Go and wake one of the kids. Go and scare one of the kids as well. Jump in bed.
So the story continues. So then, I thought whatever it was out in the field along the hedgerow, which is out my back door. I've got another garden at the end.
How close would you say it was then? This return in response.
Pretty close. It was in the field next to my top garden. That's where I'd say it was. But so let me put you in the picture. The night that this happened, there is thick fog.
Yeah.
Hugging the ground.
Setting the scene. Setting the scene, aren't you?
Yeah. Full moon. Thick fog.
Was it like the scene of the Hounds of Baskerville?
It was.
Yeah.
It was a scary weather scenario.
Okay.
Because the moon was full. I could see above the fog, but I couldn't see below because it was hugging the ground.
It makes sound a lot more denser, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So then I jump into a set of Crocs.
I beg your pardon?
A set of Crocs.
I thought you said something else.
No, that was what was available at the time.
So you enjoy Crocs as well?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they're great. Anyway, I shot out across the gravel, and with that, my security light came on at the front of the house. I go up the lane, and on this lane out here, there's a small gateway that looks out onto the field. So I'm now halfway up the lane, and I'm looking out over the field to see if I can see what it is I've heard. Can't see anything.
Did you take a flashlight?
Sorry?
Did you not take a flashlight?
No, I didn't, and I had my phone in my pocket. Totally honest. I tell you, when these things happen, the last thing that's on your mind is recording anything, gathering data.
You're in the dark. The last thing on your mind was the first thing in your mind was take a flashlight.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't. I thought I'm gonna go up the lane. I'm gonna have a look with the full moon. As I said, when I got there, the moon was bright, but the fog was hugging the ground. I could not see.
Yeah.
So I spend about 2 minutes up by the gate, and then as I turn to come back, two of the most eerie howls from my right-hand side. Okay, there's another woodland out here. Two really, and I've heard foxes screaming. Yeah, I've heard owls farting. All right. I've heard it all. I've been out. I spent nights in the woods. I spent nights night fishing.
You're very used to your surroundings, especially your own environment. Because when you're in your home, you know your environment very well. You know all the cars that come in the street. You pick up all the sounds, the gate over the road that creaks, and you pick up everything, don't you? When you hear something, and it's contrary to what usually is in audible reach in your environment, it sticks out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so, mate. So two very big howls, which I've never heard before in my life.
Yeah.
And that was as I turned to come back down the lane. So I come back in the front of the house. I go back to the back door. The knocking stopped. But another howl out the back. And that was the experience, mate, basically. It's exactly how it happened. It's very strange.
So, would you be so kind to replicate the howl for us?
No, I would not be that kind, Fresh. It's no, Fresh. I'm not going to do that because, for one, I cannot replicate it. I'm not able to do it within my vocal system.
Right.
But it was an eerie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What was it like? What was the howl like? If it was not like a fox or anything else like that we have in the British countryside, suggestively, what then would it? What would it be like? What point of reference? What would it?
I would say the closest thing that you're going to get that howls like that is possibly a wolf.
Okay.
So it was more like a siren.
So was it? That's what I'm saying. What have you looked online and stuff to kind of marry up and compare this noise to anything you found?
No, I haven't gone that far. No, I've just.
Oh, you haven't?
No. Oh. All I can tell you is it was just a blood curdling two howls.
Okay, where's the reintroduction site in Sussex for the wolf?
I don't know. I don't think we've got wolves in Sussex, mate.
Yeah, you've got a reintroduction site in either Suffolk or Sussex or Suffolk.
Suffolk, yeah. Well, Suffolk's a long way away. I don't think there's anything like that in Sussex.
Okay, all right. Because you do know that's now occurred in the UK, don't you?
Oh yeah, no, I do know that the wolves have been reintroduced, but
so's a lot of other animals. Funny enough.
Yeah, I get that, but it was the knocking. It was the knocking that really got me, along with the howls as well when I left the house.
So coming back to the knocking, then, would you say the knocking was something of substantial size against something of substantial size, or would you say it was like a clicking or a clacking, or was it a very kind of repetitive thud, or was it like a?
No, it was like a metallic knock.
Oh, metallic.
That's how it sounded.
And there's no spoon players in your street.
No spoon players. No.
You've got to check these things because you don't know. Yeah. Neighbours do some weird things at night.
Yeah, what, 12:30 out there playing spoons?
I used to have a neighbour that used to. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I've had some weird neighbours. Yeah, that done some weird things at certain times. But you know yourself, all joking aside, that you've had an experience. It's out of the ordinary. It's never happened before. Has it happened again?
No.
It's never happened again.
No more problems at the house, no.
So there's nothing come to the house. There's nothing been left at the house.
No. Hold on. Let me just back up. Back up. The next day after that happened, I went and checked the garden for prints, anything been moved or disturbed. Nothing. I checked everything. I went around the whole perimeter. Nothing. Then the next afternoon, I went to the top of the garden again to have another look. And there was some huge dark impressions in the leaves up at the top bank. and the top of the wire fence had been bent down. And you could see where something, it may not have been what I heard the night before, but something had come in, gone up the bank. There was 2 sticks on the bank that had been laid the previous morning in an X by me on a log. Okay. When I got back up the bank, you had those footprints, and you also had the X that turned into a Y, upside down Y.
Now, that could you think that could possibly just be the wind or something like that, maybe?
Well, it could have been, but there was no wind, and they'd been moved off the log and back down onto the bank. So,
okay, so this experience then really kick-started your curiosity to...
No, it didn't. No, I had a curiosity 2 years before any of this, 2 years before even watching Carl stuff.
Okay.
2 or 3 years I've been into watching the Bigfoot stuff, just taking in a little bit of this, taking in a little bit of that.
Is that when you started stalking Todd Standing?
Todd Standing?
Correct.
Yeah, I may have dispatched Todd. After getting a little bit carried away. No, I've never been a stalker, not one now. But Carl's stuff was cool, and the name changing stuff was just a bit of a giggle, mate. You know, you should know me by now, Fresh.
Yeah, we kind of know the freak you are.
At the time, we didn't though, and so
at the time we didn't. You just come across
when this person shows up in the chat and he keeps changing his name, and then all of a sudden he lands on Mr. Tickles.
Yeah. Well,
my very first thought was this guy drives a conversion van with curtains on the windows. Yeah, he's got a very straggly, creepy mustache, and he keeps bags of candy in it.
You've definitely got a point, but would you mind just asking Fresh how Tickles came around? Because he can shed some light on this, can't you, Fresh?
But I just said, look.
Well, just come on.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes on the job.
Yeah.
I'm a little childish.
Yes. Aren't we all?
So, at a particular job recently.
Yes.
These people asked for a child's entertainer.
Right.
And I just happen to have a permanent pen on me. And I decided to write underwear. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name.
Yeah.
All right. But we'll say like Peter File. And then stop it. And then his Facebook thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went such and such and such a kids and such and such a Jake such and such, and I put in marker on his van, the toucher.
Right.
And we kept it to ourselves, as we do.
Yeah.
And then we watched from a distance, and him and his dad were going mental that. The kids entertainer, which was his son, there was now screaming around trying to get something to remove off the van the words "the toucher" because it didn't look very good as a kid's entertainer.
No. So did you change it to Tickles?
No, it didn't, Ben.
Oh, okay.
So what actually happened then was you came along.
Yeah.
And you did a little bit of background checking on you, some profile checking, like I do with everybody. And I found out that you frequented a lot of nurseries and children's places, Ben, in your minibus. So I said, call yourself the Tickler.
Oh, dear.
And then you ran off with Mr. Tickles.
I'm so glad I came on.
God damn.
Which I just thought was insane.
Oh, dear.
And I thought, I couldn't have planted a seed into the most intelligent minds ever, could I?
Well, no, clearly not.
We had plans going on in the background. Like, do we block this guy? I mean, he might be in that van right now, circling the block, playing ice cream man music.
He was sorting some paperwork out the other night to go to court the following day. That's why he's been pissed up over the last weekend. This why we know what's going on, son.
Do you know, all I was doing that night was doing my books.
No, you weren't. You're going court because you've been spotted again. You was in an order. You were told by Suffolk County Council not to go to them places. You had an injunction. You know you did.
Oh dear!
You can't say that shit. You know, people on here are gonna be like, "Oh, click."
Yeah.
Click.
No,
this is not true, guys.
What's gonna end up happening, Ben, is you're gonna have all these really creepy guys come over to sub your channel and you chat next time.
You know, you're gonna get so many subscribers now.
Yeah.
Of familiar people like the Tickler and the Toucher.
Yeah.
And they're all going to come swinging in.
Mikey Magic Fingers, and
you're gonna meet the Grappler. Yeah.
I'm up for it, mate. To be honest.
You could meet the Grabber.
Yeah, the Grabber. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're getting quite infamous now in Sussex because now you've got your YouTube channel and your stuff, and you're off doing your YouTube channel. And how's that going for you? It's
going okay. The last 2 weeks, I've been quite quiet on the channel, to be honest. Yeah. Haven't got a lot done.
Shall we just? It's not really. Shall we just leave the chat for that now because of why that is, maybe, or?
Yeah, let's leave that there fresh for now.
I thought so. It's just probably another time for a 2-hour slot, maybe.
Yes.
I mean, here's the thing, right? And I think a lot of people don't realize this unless they do this. You end up there's so much work that goes into this, right? It doesn't matter what you do, even if you just live stream, you don't do any editing. There's so much work that goes into it, time, effort, all this shit that you have to do for it. Just creating a live stream, you have to, I've said it before, but you have to, contact the people you're having on the show. You have to correspond with them back and forth. You have to line up the time that works.
Hi, Billy.
Huh?
Just saying hello to Billy.
You have
to. You did it again. Oh, you did. No, Ben, you did it again. He was talking. You did it again.
Sorry, I was listening. I was just. I was listening. About time that you put into doing the channel, even if it's the live streams. I was totally listening.
You got to put a lot, and there comes a point, multiple points, where you just go like, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you are burnt out, maybe you just don't feel creative. Like sometimes you just got to take time for yourself because you can't continue to go, especially when you have a family and a job and all that stuff. It just you can't. You have to take time for you.
Hi, Aaron.
It's been half term as well, so the kids have been around. It's been nice. Bit of family time.
2 seconds. I gotta check something. 2 seconds.
So, where are you going to take the channel? Do you think, buddy? What do you want to do? What do you kind of want? What do you want to do with it? Where are you going to go with it? What do you want to do? Do you think?
Well, I'm just going to carry on researching some spots and keep an eye on what's going on the ground and report upon my findings.
Do you fancy?
Really fresh. That's about it, mate. Really, just have some good time in the woods. Have a bit of fun with it. Yeah.
Is it like a serious thing for you, or?
It's quite a serious thing for me. Yeah, and I enjoy it. It is semi-serious, and I try and have a little bit of fun with it too.
So, do you think you found an area in there maybe that's you have a feel for, maybe, or there's a specific area where you feel that there might be a lot more things going on, whatever that is?
Yeah, there's activity in those woods that's unexplainable. for sure.
Okay.
There's stuff going on that I can't explain, you know. But I can see this stuff happening, and I try and get it on camera and feed it back.
Everything's up for interpretation.
Exactly that, Fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. We're not saying it's this one thing or this thing. It's just basically, what are your thoughts on this, so to speak?
That's right. Yeah. It's just it's actually it's irregular things that are going on in the woods.
Yeah. So it's not loaded. You know what I mean? Nothing's loaded. If you get what I'm saying, because there's
no, it's not.
Loaded, yeah.
No.
So do you think? So do you think if you've got this area now, let's say, and you've got a good feeling for this area and stuff like that, do you think there might be time to do some experiments?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Do you fancy doing some experiments? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What sort of experiments are you talking about?
So I don't know. This is a very interesting one that I think's quite a good one, and you have to do it when you're fully aware of your complete surroundings. What I mean by that is nobody can be present.
Yeah.
Nobody at all can be present. You've got to get a specific time, whatever time that is, when nobody's going to be around. It can't be anybody lurking around. You need to check that nobody's around, yeah?
Yeah.
So one of the things I did, and I was talking to somebody in the UK about this, is just trying to come up with just with different new things, or just a way of doing stuff. Because
hold on, I got to make sure I'm understanding this right. So nobody's around, right? Just want to be sure. All right, okay. Nobody. There can't be anybody around.
Nobody's around.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. That's all.
Yeah, you can't have anybody around because it defeats the object, doesn't it? For God's sake.
Yes.
Right. So this is what I did. In their main kind of area where they put their X up and everything else like that, and everything that gets all my experiments are done within 24 hours. I don't leave things too long or anything else like that. It's done. Plant the experiment. 24 hours later, you're back in. Within 24 hours, you're back in. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the experiments I did, and I, can show all the images of this if you want. There's like a set of trees near to the holly bush, which is at the back of like a major den. And in these trees, there was an arch branch that had actually been wedged through the trees. So it was wedged through the trees, wasn't from there, it'd been snapped off from somewhere else and wedged through. So because it was there, I decided to do my experiment underneath the arch. I just thought it was kind of a predominant place, and it meant that I had a reference point to go back to, because sometimes you can set experiments and do these things and forget where the hell you've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I spent about 19 hours once looking for a bloody whistle. Oh, it's in the holly bush. Which bloody holly bush? So I'm going there. Oh, they've got the whistle. No, it's still in the holly bush. 19 hours later. So where was it going? Yeah. So what I did was I took a trowel down. I took an orange ball. And underneath the arch, I spent a lot of time digging a hole. Very, very small, shallow hole. But I spent ages doing it because what I wanted to do, if there was anything watching me, I wanted to make sure that they see me. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because in the psychology of all this is the fact of, if I was watching somebody in the middle of nowhere with nobody around him, not talking to anybody else, anything or anything else like that, I will want to know what they're putting in that bloody hole. Yes?
Yeah.
So spend your time, take your time, put something in the hole. That could be anything you want it to be. All right, could be food, could be a ball, could be anything.
Ooh, food. Yeah, food. Do food.
Yeah, snacks, Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
So that's one experiment done. Walk out, come back 24 hours later, see what's happened. Yeah. If nothing's happened, give it some more time.
Yeah.
In 3 days, if nothing's happened, your experiment failed. Okay. So another one is,
what is it proving if it works?
well, for me, what it did for me was it proved that whatever was in there was watching me. Because I can't see anybody walking through there in 24 hours, noticing what there was no signs of anything that I'd done, because I did it so subtly. Because all the leaves were dry, the whole forest floor was covered with leaves. So when I did what I did, I just covered it all back up with leaves, and you couldn't tell any different. It looked, I hadn't been there. It just looked like a log with leaves everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I went back down there, I was quite surprised to see that the log had been picked up and put to one side very carefully. Bernie. So I picked the log up and put it to one. They picked the log up and put it to one side. Somebody picked the log up and put it to one side. It's quite a big log. So it's picked it up. There's not any footprints. There's not a dog been there. So like you'd see a dog and the dog would flip the log over trying to get the ball, or sniffing to see what a human's done. All of these kind of things, all of these things crossed my mind. But the log had been specifically picked up and moved about 2 meters and put on the floor next to it. And then something had rubbed where I'd been and just made the ball, so you could just see the top of the ball, and then left it. That told me that something wanted to let me know that they'd found the ball. Yeah?
Yeah. Or you were seen putting it down there.
So why didn't the dog pick the ball out then? Or why didn't anybody else then take the ball?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So I've not done that kind of trick again, but the next trick I'll do is 3 stones or 3 objects. And I'll put 3 things in a row or 3 things in a place and put different things underneath each one. And then see if any of them move or any of them disappear. Or if something gets replaced by that, by a stone put underneath that.
Oh shit, that reminds me.
You've got nothing to lose, have you?
No. And I've got the camera on the way now as well, which I'm going to be quite interested. I probably won't pick up anything.
That camera's going to be a bit of I'm quite curious to see what this camera's going to do, because I think it only works within the parameters of your home or a building. Because when you know about tech, electricity doesn't even go through your plug sockets. It goes round. It doesn't work the way that you think it does. All right.
No. Well, it says it can pick up a mobile reception. So let's see. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, most things in the field, as you know, has to have a GPS. That's how it works. So it has to have a SIM card. It has to have the SIM card in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a coded chip within the realm of a transmitter and a receiver. So I am very interested to see what this camera does.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Soon we'll see. We'll test it.
And I think Kyle's gone to sleep.
Yeah, and I've got to get to bed now, so I've got to be
okay. That's fine.
All right.
So yeah, fantastic. Thanks, guys, for coming this evening, and I'll see you soon. Thanks all. Bye. Oh dear me.
Thank you, Fresh. Thank you, Carl. Thanks for everyone in the chat.
Thank you, guys. I'm serious. If we can do this regularly, I'd love to do it regularly.
Oh no, because it just makes it easy for you. Why don't you just hand the show over to us for a bit?
Well, I tried to earlier, and you were like, "What? No, you can't go."
No, it's not.
I'm like, I haven't
yeah.
slept. I haven't eaten dinner. You're like, "Yeah, too fucking bad, pal. Just chill out."
That's right. Yeah, that's correct. I've come in from work. I feel like I've got rickets.
Oh. Okay.
If it carries on the way that it's going, I'll be a Biafran.
Oh.
My nose looks absolutely ginormous with this.
It does. Did you said you paid for that, right?
I paid, a lot of money for this nose because it was literally, honest to God, it was in such a mess.
Oh boy. Well, I can't imagine it looked much worse, but
I've had a tuck. It used to stick up like that. When I was a kid, I used to look like some off League of Gentlemen. Like that. So I had a tuck to pull it down, yeah, like that. I had a tuck there to pull it down so it didn't stick up. And then I've obviously had it seriously broken over the years a couple of times. And then I remember after one nose operation, and have you ever had nose operations done, Kyle?
No.
Okay. So I'm not joking you, it's the size of your fucking nose by the time they're finished and they've been in there fighting and it's literally about this big. It's about that big. So yeah. I come out of the hospital 3 days later with half cut fingers off gloves, these surgical gloves, half the finger, and literally that was the whole of my nose, and it was both sides, yeah. I had to go to a service station and fill up the car with fuel. So my nose was massive. I had all these I basically called them tampaxes up my nose, and everybody was looking at me.
Well,
I walked into this garage, and the lady said, "So what pump is it?" I said, "number 6. So everybody's looking at you. I says, "I know." She said, "What does the other guy look like?"
Hopefully better.
I said, "Don't worry about the other guy. He's dead."
Oh boy.
Then the people just looked at the floor.
Yeah,
amazing. Just what you can say. It's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, I come back with this massive broken nose. I'd second load of surgery done on it, and then we'd had the children. So I'd got it was my youngest. So my youngest was only a few months old, and when they're a few months old, they're quite floppy things. They just flop about. They're mental, right? They've got no strength. They've got no neck strength or anything. So I'll come in, and she's my ex-partner. She's had enough. She's gone, here's your dad. He's back. So I've got the baby like this, going, "Oh, you're right." And I turned around to see Mia, and the baby went, boom, headbutted me.
Yeah, they do that.
Broke all my nose, split everything. That was it. I had to go back up hospital.
Oh God.
Well, that's why I have like this proboscis monkey's arse as a nose.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's tough. That's yeah. Hey, sometimes we're dealt a shitty hand. What are you gonna do?
Sniff it.
That nose would have been perfectly suited for somebody like Scarface. The work that thing could have done.
Oh no, believe me, not even. No, I don't know what you mean.
Shit.
Listen,
all right.
Listen. Years ago, they used to call me the trawler.
Sounds very close to the toucher.
No, you don't understand.
It's tea, though, isn't it?
This is about scooping big things up.
Yeah.
Trawler.
The trawler.
Trawler, right.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yep. Okay.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for tonight, guys. It's been wonderful listening to you both.
Thank you.
Next week.
No.
Yeah, bullshit. No.
No.
Bullshit. No. The people are asking for it. We got to get the people what they want.
Listen.
And next week, we're going to mute you for the first half of the show so Ben can.
I'll tell you what's best to do. Yeah. I'll have a side bench. All right.
Is he saying something?
I'm not sure what he's saying.
I can't hear him.
I mean, either.
Wankers.
Right, I am going.
Kyle's not had enough. He's not had enough of a laugh recently. Yeah.
Oh,
He
man.
basically just gets us on to abuse us.
No, I do not. This was a great show.
Oh, it's always a great show when I'm about.
It was a great show. It really was.
Oh dear, nobody wants to listen to this shit. Honest to God, do they?
They're saying they do. People are
Don't
saying
they?
that.
They don't.
They have.
They don't. They want to see
They've
fucking
been asking on the chat.
They want to see Sasquatch coming out of eyebrows.
Well, whatever they want to see. I mean,
Well,
whatever they want to see. They're asking for things. We give them those things if we can. We have the capability to do so. Then we give them to them. Do we not?
Whatever.
Right. Thank you. I've got to go, guys. I've got to
I'll
be
tell
out.
you what, right? We've not even spoke about anything. We've not spoke about nothing. We touched on nothing again.
Well,
You've said what you needed to, Ben. Again.
and you. Right, you've had the show for like an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
That's it.
Night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Take
Till
care.
next.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you guys for coming on. We're going to do this again next week. I don't give a shit.
No,
what
we're
you
not.
say. Yeah, we are.
Stop
See
it.
you
That's
all
made me
See
low.
you all next week. Fresh is
I look
definitely
like
up
I've got
for
a
it.
clock on my face. Sorry.
Yeah. Kyle, can you mute Fresh a second so we can tell everyone he's going to be back next week?
Yes, he's muted.
Okay,
Tune
good.
in
Yeah,
next
so
week.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Fresh has already agreed to come back next week, and we'll be doing the show again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much,
Fresh.
guys.
Love you,
Have
buddy.
a
Love
wonderful
you.
night.
I
Goodbye.
think Fresh is telling us he loves us, Carl. Look.
He is. He is.
Love
He said,
you, buddy.
"Oh, you're both
Love you.
beautiful men. You're both
Love
so
you more."
beautiful and intelligent." Good night. Good night. Got it. This is crazy.
Bye,
Good
everybody.
night.